Yeah, and he thought
Well,
they hit him. And they hit him on the chest. No, chest.
Well, we checked his arm was in like
They
this.
hit him on the chest.
Well, I don't know why. I don't know why. The thing on Connell.
Terrible push ball. Ah, nothing to do with Connell. Nothing to do with Connell.
Well, we're watching the replay.
Well,
He was maybe like that
What's
white
that?
line.
Terrible. Terribly unfair.
Well, I thought John Evanson, not playing very well up front,
No, but
especially not playing well
tight.
in the middle.
They're marking very tight, makes
Yeah.
it tough. But they're doing the job. They're keeping the score nothing at halftime, which would have been good,
Oh, yeah. How, like this?
Yeah, you're going to talk into that. I mean, the statistics are even all the way around other than corner kicks, because we're just blocking
What corners?
Well, yeah, but that's because they're basically tackling them just in that direction,
Say, Augie's been beat, what, 3 times bad? 3 times.
He's made a couple
and
of good
Egan's been
tackles,
beat.
too.
Egan's been, yeah, he has.
Well, I knew Egan was going to be beaten. I mean, you got to expect that, They've been playing well in the middle.
Jump.
Yeah.
I tell you, Fletcher's a hard worker.
coming back on a crowd shot.
Okay.
Now look at the camera.
Is there any crowd expectation yet?
Okay.
I want to introduce you both as soccer writer for the Tribune and secretary of the...
Okay.
Congratulations to all of the successful goal kickers, and thanks to all the contestants for your participation in tonight's halftime goal kicking contest.
Long break.
Back at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, where at halftime the Minnesota Kicks are leading the Tampa Bay Rowdies 1-0 on a penalty kick by Steve Litt at 36:56. I'll be back with more halftime activities right after this message. When is he going to go to meet? I'm Francisco Marcos. With me at halftime here in Minnesota is Jim Henderson, soccer writer for the Tampa Tribune, but also secretary for the newly formed Professional Soccer Reporters Association. Jim, I'm sure that it's got to be a great pleasure for you to be here. You were a rookie with the Rowdies 3 seasons ago, and now you are secretary of the Professional Soccer Writers Association, indeed a very much needed body.
Well, Frank, I think so. We are right now still in the formulative stages trying to organize our group. We have about 100 active members all over the United States. In fact, I just have met a guy here today from Minneapolis who is a part of the group, Charlie Hallman from the St. Paul Press. And we are right now working hard to try to better our conditions around the league.
Jim, about this game tonight, the Rowdies not really playing all that well as far as scoring opportunities are concerned, but about as well as it can probably be expected considering the crowd, the type of game that it is. They've made some chances, but the defense has been playing well. I feel they were victimized in that penalty kick.
Well, it was a tough call, Frank. We're sitting downstairs and watching it on the replay about 5 or 6 times, and we still can't decide if it was a good call or not. It's really hard to tell. The ball bounced up, and I couldn't tell where August's arm and hand was. You know, I think if the game had been in Tampa, it certainly would not have gone against the Rowdies. But that's something that I think that they're going to have to live with now. It's 1-0.
My real criticism was that both the linesmen and the referee were away from the play, probably at least 30 yards, maybe as many as 60, 65 yards. And August was with their back to them, so they really couldn't see what he was doing. But in the replay, all I could see, along with Tom Keane, was the ball bouncing from August's leg to his chest and going off for what would have been a corner kick. What do you think the Rowdies will have to do as soon as the second half begins?
Well, I think that they're going to be on the better side of the field, Frank. They are going to be kicking without the infield dirt, and that should make a lot of difference for them. I think they're going to have to get a little bit better play out of the midfield than they had in the first half. More chances to create.
Well, it's been a pleasure being with you here at halftime. We're almost out of time. We're almost ready to start the second half. We're going to come right back with the kickoff for the second half. No more than about 30 seconds away from kickoff. Both teams back on the field. The Rowdies, of course, as Jim Henderson pointed out, will be kicking to your right as you look at your screen. And, of course, that's all grass, and that could be a much happier situation than that infield dirt, which I described as not really much of a problem. I don't really think it is, but I suppose that psychologically you see all that green expansion in front of you and you feel that much better about it.
Reminds you of home, Tampa Stadium. Tom Keane with you and Francisco Marcos, our color commentator, for second half NASL action. 45 more minutes of soccer. The kicks will kick off up front for Minnesota. It's Futcher, Coker, and Ace Netzelenke. For the Rowdies, the front line, and no lineup changes right now, as we can see. And up front for the Rowdies, it's Robb, Smethurst, and Wegerle on that front line. The statistics, Francisco, very interesting. Those corner kicks, 8-0, the score there. Minnesota on top of that statistic. Shots on goal, though, we see 7 and 7, so even right there. Shots on the net, 3 and 3. So all in all, the 1-0 score, well, pretty indicative of what is really an even game between two of the top teams in the league. As Francisco said, we go the other way, changing fields at halftime, much like most field sports in North America.
One thing the Rowdies can't afford, Tom, tonight, regardless of the final outcome of the game, is to go scoreless. They've got to try and score because the Cosmos were shut out last night 1-0, so anything at all will help. One goal is a point, and that may go a long way in determining what happens in the Eastern Division standings as far as the positioning for the playoffs situation is concerned.
Rowdies throw in far side, make that kicks throw in far side. Dave DeRico, U.S. national teamer, backline member of the Minnesota Kicks defense. The fans remain quiet, Francisco. We've been told that they are worth another goal, but I don't think they've provided it tonight for their kicks.
No, I think that, as I said, refereeing positioning provided that goal, not the fans, not the Minnesota Kicks.
Close marking on Coker by the fine young Mike Connell, the South African. There was what you'd call a shaky clearance, square in the box, and the kicks again control. Netzelenke takes it out of Anderson's reach. Ellen West, the midfielder. Inside to Futcher. Jump beats him to the ball and allows it to go across the goal line. Goal kick Tampa Bay, just underway.
Incidentally, on the bench for the Rowdies tonight, only goalkeeper Winston DuBose, striker Joe Fink, and Boris Bandov, the newest Rowdy, who can play both left-sided midfield or left-sided striker, and he might see some action if things don't turn out very, much better in the next 15 to 20 minutes.
Because of the dirt infield now in front of the Rowdies goal, Paul Hammond has slipped on a pair of the part of his sweatsuit to protect from skidding and the sliding that he might have to do. And we saw Jeff Barnett with that same kind of get up in the first half. Now that he's at the other end of the field, he has stripped off his sweatsuit pants and in his normal goalkeeper garb.
Basically, you treat an infield dirt area on a field the same way you treat AstroTurf. If you go down, your legs don't like it very much.
Futcher with the ball marked by Jump. He carries it well across field. Has to be chased down by Dave DeRico, but Futcher wanted to move it where the space was. Can't blame him. Auguste Coker goes down again. We will have a free kick for Minnesota. No yellow card this time. Taking the throw in, or rather the free kick, Dave DeRico. Inside on defense, Auguste jump. A lot of folks getting up high. Shot. Hammond parries. Futcher with a first-time volley.
Futcher, Blake, I think unmarked as he let off that volley shot. He is the cross from the right side, and I think it's going to go right to Futcher. Futcher all alone there between Egan and Rob, and straight at Hammond. Hammond parried it with his knees and fell right on it. So good play, but a fortunate situation for the Rowdies.
Again, they have been fortunate in front of the goal mouth. We must say the Kicks have had some chances. Again, Minnesota controlling. The Rowdies not finding that good free team play that came to them against Los Angeles. David Robb goes down. Going to be a foul against the Kicks, against the Rowdies. Free kick Kicks. You saw it right there. Robb committing the foul. Ace puts a move on Kevin Egan. The linesman said there was a foul, but the referee didn't elect to choose that decision. Kevin Egan going to school a bit right now. Nice heading clearance by Anderson, but again, the Kicks find the ball. On the wing is Merrick. Across the end line, goal kick, Tampa Bay.
Ace is tough to stop. Kevin Egan knew that he was going to have his hands full with him tonight, and he's doing creditably well considering the experience and wealth of talent that Ace has got.
Egan has had some baptism by fire this season. In the last game, he did so well, marking Georgie Best. Marsh is fouled. Over the top is Moran. Wes McLeod goes forward. Picked up immediately by a member of the Kicks midfield. Derrick brings it to Wegerle now. Good make-up. Wegerle free. Volley shot from the field. Smethurst with another shot, but that Wegerle shot was broken up, and the man who broke it up is now in pain. Backline member Steve Litt is down on top of the penalty arc, and you see it right there on the green grass of the Met. 40 minutes left, second half, 1-0 Minnesota on that first half penalty kick. We have a bit of a timeout. I'll tell you that our last Rowdies telecast will be on Friday night, August 5th from St. Louis. Tune in at 8:30 p.m. August 5th and see your Rowdies win the last game of the regular season exclusively on TV 44. Everybody should have a banker to call their own. In Brandon, it's Bob Covington, manager of the new Brandon office of Exchange National Bank. Now open. Just call it Bob's Bank for short. We do.
Still no action here at the Met. Steve Litt now being helped to his feet. He'll apparently stay on. I think Steve Wegerle hit him with that shot. Wegerle did well to get past DeRico. He nutmegged him, as the English call it. He put the ball through DeRico's legs, but then couldn't really get enough of a foot, not enough space to get that shot off, and Litt was the recipient of it.
Barnett to put his own free kick or goal kick in play. Free kick too. Futcher with a heading ball square to Vukovic. West with a leg high. The referee says play on. Now he calls a foul. Marsh goes down, and it's a good kick, free kick for the Rowdies.
Free kick here for the Rowdies. Auguste, number 4.
Augie, the backline Haitian, a member of the Haitian national team, to put it in play. Long ball looking for Rob. Lots of orange shirts up there. Wegerle with an opportunity. Oh, ball to Rodney. Who'll get it? Cleared away by Steve Litt. Barnett has the save for Minnesota.
Good ball by Wegerle to Marsh's path to his left, but you know, Marsh tightly marked as we see it on the replay. There's Wegerle slipping it through, but well intercepted, I believe, there by Vukovic.
Midfielder Vukovic with the saving play for Minnesota. That could have been the equalizer. Nice run by Rodney off the ball. Something we saw the Rowdies do ever so well in their 4-1 win over Los Angeles Wednesday night. Back heel, ace to Merrick. Merrick will try a low one. Connell right there to clear it back upfield. Smethurst tries to controlling header, but yes, Derrick gains control. Who's free? Oh, Wegerle one-on-one. It's just like a shootout. Oh, it's wide of the mark. Look at Barnett and his friends trying to gain control and hit the post.
I can't believe it. We're going to look at it in the replay. There's Smethurst winning it to the left to Wegerle. Wegerle to the penalty box. Barnett coming out completely beaten, and you know it's going to go in, but it doesn't. It hits the post, it comes back out, and Dave Robb gets beaten on the rebound, can't get to it because it bounces the other way.
Unlucky, as they say. Coker with an opportunity. Auguste. Hammond comes to catch it.
Clearly the best scoring chance by either team so far in the game, and no banana for the Rowdies that time either.
Up high again is Steve Litt. There will be a foul. And incredibly enough, I believe they're going to let the game play on. The referee signaling that David Robb was the guy who was kind of in violation of the laws there. So advantage was ruled and we play on, but the Rowdies have it back. They begin to press a little bit more at midfield. Ace, give and go to Fletcher. Cleared away nicely by McLeod. Thank you, Wes.
And I think Kevin Egan will thank McLeod that time as well, because Kevin very lackadaisically trying to pass that ball to no one in particular, found it taken away from him, and all of a sudden it's a quick breakaway counterattack and a chance for the kicks.
Sunday at 6, James Stewart portrays a man determined to avenge the death of his brother, the man from Laramie. The Sunday movie at 6 on Channel 44. Jump for the Rowdies. Again, they find control in the middle. Wes McLeod. Smethurst back to Jumpy. Marsh. Rodney overruns it for some curious reason. Jump now with the ball. The Rowdies attack a little more patient, trying to mount something. Through ball to Robb. Merrick, a savior, and the back line of the Minnesota kicks. Out of touch, Rowdies throw in. Connell. Connell back to Hammond.
The Rowdies putting on a little more offensive pressure than in the first half. Really the kind of pressure that won so well against LA 4-1. But of course this Minnesota team is much tougher in the back than LA. LA plays a very loose game in the back, very loose in midfield in the sense that they like to go forward. Minnesota, a much more disciplined team, probably not as talented overall, but very, very tight, very careful, make very few mistakes in the back, give very little room away.
Barnett drop kicks it. Connell, Coker, Mike gets high. Egan with the controlling ball. Pops it high for himself. Tries to find teammate Ian Anderson. Foul called against Egan. Free kick, Minnesota. Ace appeals for more than just a foul, but it does not come. The free kick will be put in play by Alan West. Chip shot to Coker. Free is Netzelenque. Egan takes him to the baseline. Connell, nicely done by Connell, but Ace will come back and trouble Mike now. Nice ball to Robb. Litt gets in the way, however. Smethurst with a steal. Here's a 3-on-2 break for Tampa Bay. DeRico comes to find Smethurst. Free is Anderson. He'll pull it back. Robb. No. McLeod. Still, Barnett comes to find it. No, it's still free. I can't believe it. Wegerle to try and pull it back. The kicks defense prevails. Vukovic takes it back to Barnett. There was a breakaway for Tampa Bay. Could have been, should have been. 34:53 left in the second half. Looks like David Robb suffering a bit.
A lot of bodies flying around on that play, and I think Dave Robb might have gotten a foot in his head. He's now getting up. He appears to be okay. He'll stay in the game.
Marsh has two orange-shirted players on his back. Alan West is one. Rodney taken down hard. Smethurst appeals to the referee for something more than the free kick, but that's what it'll be. Free kick, Tampa Bay.
Momentum of the game changing slightly in favor of the Rowdies, putting on some pressure, and the Kicks having to foul a lot to stop the Rowdies right now.
Now, if you watched our mini clinic at halftime, from right about this point in the game in Fort Lauderdale, we showed you some highlights. They scored on a free kick. This time it's Marsh, McLeod, and Smethurst. That time it was Marsh to Glover to Smethurst to hit it. Banks couldn't hold it, and Wegerle first timed it into the goal. Let's see what happens. Here's Derek with the hole. Wide. The same kind of play, though, Francisco, in the set ball situation.
They have scored 2 or 3 times this season. Adrian Olsen, for one, has scored 3 goals from free kicks. Here, the ball goes to McLeod first, and then McLeod over to the side to Smethurst, who shoots, finds a hole through the defense, to the defensive wall, but just a bit too wide.
WTOG will carry the next National North American Soccer League telecast on Sunday afternoon, July 24th at 3 o'clock. See Chicago play San Jose only on TV 44. Tune in. Rowdies control. David Robb back up for Tampa Bay. Marsh trying to find McLeod. Fletcher, McLeod, free kick, Minnesota.
McLeod getting tangled up with the ball on Fletcher and finally feeling that the best thing to do was to foul Ron Fletcher. As we have 33 minutes to go, the kick still leading 1-0 here at the Met in Bloomington.
The crowd now starting to get a little bit more vocal, anticipatory of some kind of action. Connell, Rodney backs it to Kevin. Go forward, Kevin. Get it out of danger. West takes it away from McLeod and away from the rest of his kicks, and Augie runs it down. The Rowdies control. 32 minutes to find the equalizer. Wegerle to Augie. The tough midfield marking of Minnesota. Right there, you can see how it's causing difficulties for Tampa Bay. Ian Anderson trying to find it. Augie still controls. This time to McLeod. He's ridden hard by DeRico. I'm sure they met many times when the Canadian national team and the U.S. national team locked up in September of last year. Doing it again right here at the Met. Stop by McDonald's and try out new sundaes with hot fudge. Strawberry, hot caramel, or pineapple toppings available at McDonald's. We do it all for you. Anderson picked up by Ace. Chip shot inside. Cleared away by the back line, Steve Litt of Minnesota. Merrick, marked by Anderson. Back to Barnett. Barnett picked up by Robb. A great lesson there for junior soccer players, amateur soccer players. Somebody should always keep an eye on the goalkeeper. You never know when he's going to mishandle.
Correct, because you can intercept the pass, destined for the goalkeeper very easily.
Peter Short helps it back to Jeff Barnett. Alan Merrick now for Minnesota. The kicks being a little bit more patient. This is an important game for them, a game they've looked forward to. Fletcher, Auguste, jump, takes it back nicely. Nice defense by Tampa Bay.
Very well broken up by Connell, and really the Rowdies have really had most of it in the last 5 to 10 minutes, and could have scored a couple of times.
Headed back by Peter Short. Barnett comes to the wide open Alan Merrick. He brings it to Cooker. Connell slipping down there. Cooker square ball right to Kevin Egan of the Rowdies. Tampa Bay gets it back. Rodney with some strange bit of dribbling right there and gives it back to Ace. Connell keeps it in play, but there's a foul. No! Thank you, John Davies, referee. You play on. Keep the game running. Robb. David Robb. Converged on there by 3 Minnesota players. Anderson now. The Rowdies finding it a bit difficult to get across midfield. Once they do, they've created some happenings. Nice ball to McLeod by Jump. Through ball to Wegerle. He chases it down on the wing. He is free. Picked up now by DeRico. Steve at the top of the box. Shot. Barnett saves. Close to the post.
Close to the post, probably a bit too close. We'll look at it in the replay. Steve Wegerle goes almost down to the goal line and then cuts it back and takes a right-footed shot. Probably a far post cross might have been more appropriate there. Nevertheless, a good try by Steve Wegerle.
You can see Rodney Marsh running in on the ball, maybe to lay it down to him too. A little more patience on the part of Wegerle is something we could call for, but a nice ball by McLeod to Steve on the through run. More and more of the good action offensively and good concentration. Here's a chance. Again, the kicks unlucky. Tampa Bay incredibly fortunate.
Ron Fletcher winning the ball in the air very well, just flicking it on for Coker. The ball goes all the way from Barnett to Fletcher, and Coker slips by, gets it, but Paul Hammond just manages to deflect it to his right for a corner kick. Paul Hammond saving the Rowdies 3 or 4 times from sure goals tonight. Again, playing very well as he did on Wednesday against LA. We're back on live.
Allen West, long ball. Robb gets up high. It's still in the air. Goal kick, Tampa Bay.
A very good example there of how a goalkeeper can help with distribution, almost get an assist. Barnett must have punted that ball about 75 yards. Fletcher headed it right at the top of the penalty area, 18 yards away, and it just found its way on the flip to Coker, who shot it first time, but Hammond making a very good save.
The official attendance now, Francisco, 36,302. They were talking 40 But earlier in the day, some of the threatening weather maybe have kept a few people away.
This is, of course, paid attendance, and maybe quite a few no-shows because of that rain threat, which was quite severe here in the Twin Cities area. And their total attendance now for the year is
Here's McLeod. I don't mean to interrupt you, Francisco. Smithers! Smithers! Barnett! Oh, my, another incredible opportunity for Tampa Bay.
Again, we're going to look at it in the replay. There goes the ball from McLeod. McLeod centering from the left side. Smithers just gets something to it. Barnett is kind of beaten. He's wrong-footed, but then falls on it just before Smithers can get to it.
Incredible. 27-52. The Rowdies got to have one of those to equalize. It's 1-0 Minnesota. Chances. Chances indeed. Both ends of the field. Taken down hard is Coker. David Robb, the fouler, the violator of the laws of the game. Free kick, Minnesota. This coming Wednesday night at Tampa Stadium, the Rowdies will play Portland in a key game. Wednesday will be Have a Tampa Flyer Night. The first 5,000 kids get a free Rowdies flying disc. That's Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
David
DeRico will bring it inside to the box, but right there is another American, Kevin Egan, to clear it away. Merrick for Minnesota. Right about the second baseman spot. Coker, shot. Alan West on the give and go. Back from Coker. Wide of the mark. Hammond brings it to Egan. Kevin will bring it back to Hammond so he can handle and either distribute or punt upfield.
The Kicks attacks are now more sporadic. They're more really counter-attacks, and the Rowdies are beginning to put on the kind of pressure that the Kicks did in the first half, which may or may not result in a goal. Locke, of course, has not been with us so far. 2 or 3 great chances, but no goal so far.
Nicely done by Kevin Egan to maintain control for Tampa Bay. McLeod. West almost had an assist on the cross to Smethurst. Connell now up from the back line. Oh, David Robb. The Kicks again come to converge, and they come down in a heap. The ball was still loose there. Jeff Barnett coming up with the save. Now the Kicks come back counterattacking, but Fletcher not with a lot of friends. Auguste. We play on. McLeod upfield to Wegerle. Wegerle brings it middle. The give and go back there almost worked from Robb. Connell to Robb. It's good to see Michael coming up. Do we have a bit of a change in alignment right now with Mike more up in the midfield, Francisco, or are we just pressing the attack? Is that what it is? Rodney to Smethurst. First time shot. Wide of the mark.
I think we're just pressing a little more, and Mike Connell coming out of the backfield a little more. As he comes upfield, Kevin Egan kind of goes over to the middle, because basically the Kicks play with 3 forwards, as most teams do. So Mike Connell can go up when we are attacking. The danger, of course, is if you lose the ball, then the counterattack is immediately on from Minnesota.
25-27 left in the game. Metropolitan Stadium, Bloomington, Minnesota. NASL action. The Minnesota Kicks, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Minnesota on top, 1-0. Jeff Barnett for the Kicks to put it in play. Wes McLeod, Ron Fletcher challenge. Jump tries to find Augie. He can't save it from touch. Throw in Minnesota. Every day, twice a day, 42,000 commuters thread their way along Adamo Drive. If you're one of them, I have some consolation for you. Miss X, the sleepless teller. She's opening soon in Brandon. That means you will never again have to rush or fight traffic to get to the bank on time. Tom Keene and Francisco Marcos here with you on a nice night for soccer. Good crowd. Good game, 2 good teams. Out of touch it is far side. McLeod takes it out. Throw in. Minnesota. Coker. Vukovic from Coker. McLeod again hassling. DeRico now up from his backline post. Ace. Ace tries to lay it out for Alan West. The Rowdies find it. Anderson comes to Rodney. Rodney chips it square. Nice ball to Mike Connell. As we said, coming up to find some attacking room. Long ball to Robb. Chests it down for Wegerle. Too many Rowdies together. Robb with an impatient shot. He had Anderson coming up square and could have laid it out for Ian, who could have taken it all the way to the goal line.
Patience is really something that we can talk about now, because with 23 minutes to go, really patience is the most important thing. If Derek Smethurst and David Robb start getting too impatient and get shots off, really half past, it's not going to come. I know they are eager to score, but they have got to really cool it. They've got to take their time because they've got a lot of time to do it.
Coker had the ball, but it's taken out of touch by the Rowdies. Throw in Ellen West in Minnesota. Merrick. Haitian kicks. Offside is the call. Even then, Futcher couldn't find the handle.
But the Rowdies had all stopped already. They had heard the whistle, so that shot would have been of no consequence no matter where it landed.
Merrick on the cross inside to Futcher. A little update on the offside rule for some of our new viewers. Francisco?
Of course, there have been 2 defensive players, one of which is normally the goalkeeper, between the ball and the goal line. But that's putting it the simple way. It's
Exactly.
really a lot more complex.
There are
than that.
variations. Jump, Smethurst, Rodney. Marsh, the captain and the motor of the team. If something happens, Rodney usually is involved. Obstruction will be called on DeRico, pushing Wegerle off the ball, and it will be free kick Tampa Bay. Another set ball situation. Let's see what the Rowdies can do. John Boyle has had his Rowdies working on these situations many times in practice. Let's see what will come of it. Inside the box, waiting for Rodney's ball, is Ian Anderson, Tall Auguste, David Robb, chip shot. Lots of kicks in the area. Netzelenke holds it out. Rodney controls. Takes it back to Wegerle. Wegerle chip shot. Robb had a chance. Peter Short with a horrible clearance, and the Rowdies gain control once again. They've headed down here on this particular series for about 2 minutes now. McLeod free. West with another chip shot. Smethurst cleared away. This time it's jump. Wegerle. The Rowdies take it back a little and reset the play. Find some space. Gets kind of congested. Wegerle chipping to David Robb. Can he be free? He is momentarily, but Alan Merrick wins the battle. Barnett, the keeper for Minnesota. 21-17.
Kicks defense holding up to the pressure, but definitely they are making more mistakes than they did in the first half.
Connell drops back. McLeod gets the ball from Michael. Lovely ball to Wegerle. Talk about getting it upfield quickly. Rodney responds with a wing run, and he has the ball now. Coming to catch him is DeRico. Rodney will put a move on. Indeed he does. Doesn't work though. Fine defense by Steve Litt. Minnesota gets it back. Ace picked up by McLeod, far side. The Kicks fans starting to get a little bit excited now. Starting to respond to the play. Vukovic. Back pass to West. Picked up by Anderson. Right now, Minnesota electing to play it back a little, take their time, not necessarily going forward. They have the lead. Their defense has been holding up. What the Rowdies do is need to get the ball back, start a breakaway. Coker free. Still in play. No, across the end line now. Corner. Ellen West.
Yet another corner. It must be about number 14 or 15 of the game for the Kicks. I don't think the Rowdies have got a corner kick yet.
They take one outside to Netzelenke. Connell and Netzelenke. Hammond right there. Netzelenke going to the near post with kind of a low percentage shot, to say the least.
The Rowdies kind of slow, breaking out of their penalty area there. Paul Hammond wanted to throw the ball right away to put it back in play, but the defenders, walking slowly away from the penalty area.
Robb looking for Smethurst. It comes back to Ian Anderson. The Rowdies lose control. Marsh and West, 2 of the 5 midfielders in this league. Rodney, a member of the All-Star team a year ago. Merrick now gets the ball. Loops it to Coker. Coker marked by Kevin. Nice move into the box. What's going to happen? Opportunity muffed. Netzelenke, ace right there. Marked by Augie. He won't get by Augie. He got by Egan, but he won't get by Auguste. Corner kick, Minnesota.
Every time you get to that goal line, it's a very dangerous situation, of course, because then the forward, as Coker was in that situation, is facing just about the whole field. He can just about pick anybody to pass to. Fortunately, Auguste coming up with a timely tackle on Ace, sending it away for another corner kick.
18:47 left in the game. Here comes the ball inside. Fletcher goes up, cleared away. However, Minnesota again finds the handle. This is Vukovic. He's still free. What's the call? A foul on somebody on the kicks roster. Free kick, Tampa.
I believe Dave is calling an offside that time.
The ball put in play from the point of the violation. This is Kevin Egan. Kevin, let's go forward. Nice ball to Anderson. On the wing, Ian, the Scotsman, picked up by Alan Merrick, the Englishman. Taken out of touch by Coker. Throw in Tampa. 18:03. An important game for the Rowdies. Fort Lauderdale now in first place in the East. The Cosmos in second place. Former Rowdies coach Eddie Fermani has coached 2 games from New York now. He is winless and scoreless. McLeod picked up by West. McLeod tries to find Wegerle. He finds Auguste instead on a bit of a mishandle by the kicks back line. Augie wants to get off a strong one. Give and go. Augie high over the bar. Nice chance, though. Nice thought. Let's see it again.
Good give and go between Auguste there. Looking carefully now to Smathers. Back to Auguste. Can't quite get to it, and finally gets his foot on it, but it's really too high to be of any consequence. And still no corner kick. I thought we might have had one there.
When a mobster is buried with $1 million in his casket, it leads to some hilarious comedy complications in The Busybody, starring Sid Caesar, Sunday at 1 here on Channel 44. The Rowdies get it back. Egan back to Hammond. He will look upfield for a distribution.
Tom, I can't recall a game in 3 seasons that the Rowdies have lost 1-0 on a penalty kick, and I certainly hope that tonight is not the first time. Very unusual for the Rowdies to be down on such an unusual, situation, particularly when, as I said before, repeatedly, it was very, very unfair, I felt.
Well, the Rowdies, the 11 lads out there in the white, green, and yellow, will do their best in the final 16 minutes to ensure that
I think we may,
does come.
as we look over the bench in the Rowdies area, I think we may be getting a substitute. I think I see Boris Bandov sort of warming up, and he might spark something. He's a good, late rally type of player.
Anderson now for Tampa Bay. Ian trying to find some friends. Rob goes down, anticipating the ball from Anderson, but a nice ball by Short for Minnesota to the free Wegerle. Steve putting a move on, beats everybody to the line. Here's a cross right to Barnett. Waiting was Smethurst and Anderson. No shot.
Steve doing everything except pulling the ball back. He shot it straight at Barnett, almost parallel to the goal line, and of course he needed maybe another 3 or 4 feet.
Jump with a steal. The Rowdies get it back. Jumpy taking it away from West. Ball to Rodney. Rodney takes it by Merritt. We play on. The crowd wants something. David Robb. Robb loses it. Robb trying to work some magic, but he should be playing a little more team soccer and looking for the pass. Beating one man 35 yards from the goal is of no consequence. Auguste takes it away out of the box. Hammond here to take it. No danger. 15-15. 1-0 kicks. Bandov getting the bugs out, stretching them.
And John Boyle now just giving the indication to Ken Shields, the trainer, for the substitution. I think I saw the number 3 card. He is a dangerous situation.
Hammond comes out. Coker throws his hands in the air. Can't believe it. Hammond having another brilliant game tonight.
We'll look at that again. Dangerous ball right up the middle. There's a shot from Coker, and Hammond making a key save again. And I think that the guy that's going to come out is going to be Ian Anderson, because I saw Ken Shields, the Rowdies trainer, hold up the number 3 card that signals the substitute, or rather the play that's going to come out of the field.
We play on there. Coker picked up by Connell. Coker with some gifted moves, but Michael takes it out of touch there to break up the kicks attack. 14-20. The Rowdies need an equalizer. We'll worry about the rest after that.
Indeed, we're going to have the substitution right now. He is Boris Bandov, making his second appearance for the Rowdies. Of course, both of them on the road, the first time in Seattle, the day after he was signed by the Rowdies. And going out is Ian Anderson. I suspect that Wes McLeod will move over to the right side, because Boris is primarily a left-sided player. So we can expect McLeod playing right midfield and Boris Bandov probably as the left midfielder.
Bandov, another national teamer for the United States. In fact, in their World Cup qualifications last fall, he was their leading scorer, so he does know how to find the back of the net. A rugged kid. Watched him in practice yesterday when the Rowdies had a good training session here in Minnesota.
With 28 minutes to go in Dallas, another very important game involving division leaders. Dallas first in the Southern Division, St. Louis first in the Northern Division. With 28 minutes to go, Dallas leads St. Louis 1-0.
Wegerle is 7. Up front of him is Bandov, Smethurst, Robb. Boris says, give me the ball. Let's see what I can do. With a move on the wing is McLeod. Nice chance. Wegerle is taken down in the box. We play on, however. McLeod still with the ball. Backheel. There's a foul now. What's the call? Play a stop? No, we play on. It appeared that somebody blew a whistle, but we didn't hear it. We didn't see it. Nice opportunity immediately after the substitution for the Rowdies, but the kicks come straight back. West with the ball to Futcher. Cleared away nicely by Auguste, but coming to pick it back up with the kicks. And you see the fresh Bandov getting in on the defense from his midfield post. Metzelenque and Connell jumped at it. Jumpy wins the battle, takes it to Mike. Rodney gets it upfield. Smethurst. Will Bandov get his first touch on the ball? He's running parallel with Derek. Wegerle. The fresh horse of Bandov made just what we need. Be just what we need. Boris with an opportunity on a give and go thought by Wegerle. No. Here come the kicks. West. Sprinting upfield from the back line is Vukovic. Back to West. 35 yards. All alone is Metzelenque. High over the bar. The fans respond to that one. The referee says corner kick again.
Stewart jump coming over just in the nick of time to deflect it for a corner as Metzelenque was ready to unload. Another corner kick, this time from the left side.
12:09 left in the game. 1-0 Minnesota. A danger situation. They like to take it short back to Merrick instead of inside the box. Not well taken by Merrick. The fans respond, but you can see the angle. It was high and wide. Curtis Mathis, the most expensive television in America, and darn well worth it. See your nearest Curtis Mathis dealer.
Bandov incidentally came into the game with exactly 14:07 remaining in the game. The score, of course, is still 1-0 Minnesota Kicks.
The Rowdies play St. Louis at Tampa Stadium on Saturday, July 30th. Special combination Busch Gardens Rowdies tickets are available for that game and that weekend. Get double kicks for Busch Gardens and the Rowdies for just $8. Call the Rowdies for more information. Ace. West. Merrick with a run down the far near touch line. Bandov comes to defend. Merrick frees himself. Can he chase it down? The referee says no, it's out of touch. Kick. Goal kick, Tampa Bay.
I think he got so carried away with his dribbling and faking there that he probably couldn't even keep his cool and let the ball go out of bounds. Tom, I think we are playing really well, and I think we can still tie this game up. 10:50 to go. In fact, we're going to show the replay of this game again on Monday night at Center Circle at 7:30. I want to remind our fans that Center Circle this week, in fact, for the rest of the regular season, will be in the evenings to allow a lot of people that have no opportunity of attending at lunchtime to come. It's 7:30 at the Admiral Benbow Inn, and they can call the Rowdies office for reservations. On Monday, another important event, of course, is the marriage of Paul Hammond to Hope Truax of Lutz. And, of course, Paul Hammond becomes the first Rowdy player to get married while in Tampa.
Okay, a little trivia there. And looking forward to the evening Center Circle activities. It'll be my first opportunity to come by this season. Wegerle trying to find McLeod, but all he finds is Mark Moran. That's not the way we're going to equalize, I can assure you. We've given away a lot of balls tonight. Coker having fun with Egan. Adi and Connell now. Inside the box, we play on. John Davies says no foul. Let's go play soccer. I like that idea. Connell trying to lay it through for Bandov. Weak ball.
Not enough pace on that ball, and I think the grass on a baseball field is normally a bit higher than you would want it for soccer. And if you don't really know the surface all that well, you may think that there's enough mustard on the ball, and all of a sudden it slows down just a little bit. And I think that's what happened there as Mike was trying to find Bandov. Final score in Washington was 3-0. The Diplomats coming up with a very impressive victory over the San Jose Earthquakes.
The Quakes having their problems on the road and at home. But still, they're drawing good crowds out there.
Sell-out crowds all
Foul.
the time.
Kick Rowdies. Free kick Rowdies. Jump Marsh now. Rodney looking for Derrick. In the way is the big guy, Steve Litt. Out of touch, DeRico. Throw in Tampa Bay. 8:59 left. This is Rob. Rob once again loses the ball. Not having a good night for Tampa Bay. Chasing it down will be Stuart Jump. Jumpy takes it into the box to Hammond. Egan now, all alone. Kevin looking for some folks up front. Long ball for Rob, laid back to Smethurst. Derrick muffs, Bandoff trying to get out of his way. Derrick with a shot, hard and wide.
Not really very sharp on the shooting, Derrick. With a few chances today, getting a lot of shots off, but they've been wide. And he was really full of confidence before the game. He said he felt he could go out today and get another hat trick, you know, and really adrenaline running very high after his 3 goals against Los Angeles, and he felt that he could do it again tonight.
Here at the Met, Tampa Bay is celebrating their 80th birthday this year.
7 minutes now, the clock winding down. We again stress the importance of this game for both teams. It would afford the Rowdies a much easier opportunity in the road in the final stretch in the Eastern Division race. Netzwalenka crosses. Egan goes high. So does Coker, but it's going to be a goal kick, Tampa Bay.
I think we'll see that again on the replay. Netzwalenka on the right side. Going up for it, Coker and I believe Egan. Egan proves enough of the opposition for Coker to get his head to the ball, but he really couldn't get over the top of the ball. He sent it very high.
Smethurst trying to find Rodney. Rodney free after a bad clearance by Moran. Rodney tries to find some room. Here's an opportunity by Rob at the top of the box. He shoots. Barnett off the bar. We play on. Still in the box. The Rowdies get it back. McLeod with a shot. Oh, somebody's taken out of the play.
We now have a timeout. We're going to see that tremendous effort by Rob that hit the bar, and here comes Stuart Jump, very heatedly, very upset at something. Here's a shot by Rob, hitting the bar, coming back out, and going to a Rowdy on the rebound, but too far away, really. What can we say, Tom? The chances have been there.
Stuart Jump holding a hand to his head as he can't believe what's going on now. Here's another opportunity by Rob. Same
Here's
shot.
Rob's shot. Slow motion. Barnett beaten. Can't get to it. It's going to bounce in the bar and come right back onto the field of play. The Rowdies kept possession, but too many Minnesota kick defenders around the ball, and nobody could find a handle on it. Barnett knows he's been lucky that time. Still timeout. As for the second time, we've got...
I believe on Wes McLeod's shot, Francisco, it really took Peter Short's breath away, and I think he's on the ground right now being administered to by the Kicks trainers. Guess who's working in Brandon? It's Miss X, Exchange Bank's sleepless teller. With Miss X, the bank never closes. You can handle all your routine banking at Miss X in Brandon or any one of the 8 strategic locations throughout the Suncoast.
6:55 to go, and what else can be said? The Rowdies have had the chances, but the breaks have not gone their way. They have hit the bar, they have hit the post, they have had near misses, half chances, and the Minnesota Kicks have got the only goal that
drop ball
that matters.
Rowdies control. Bandoff. Overlapping on him is Auguste. Bandoff with a chip shot, a nice looking ball. Wegerle will chase it down. However, Fletcher comes to control for Minnesota. Coker upfield looking for Fletcher's pass, doesn't come. West now for Minnesota. They slow it down. Very patient right now. Ace, far side. 6 minutes and a half left. 1-0 Minnesota. Moran. Playing square, the Kicks are. Vukovic. Wegerle comes to steal for Tampa. Steve will take it all the way back to Hammond. Nice work by the forward, Steve Wegerle. Another note for youth players there. Just because you're a forward, it doesn't mean you can't help out on defense, especially in a game like this. So close. Connell now. Coker trying to break it up, but Connell there. Wegerle. Steve now on this side of the field, moving all over. Chop inside. Smethurst trying to find it. Cleared away by DeRico. The Rowdies maintain control. McLeod. Wes McLeod. Here's Smethurst. He'll pull it back. No. DeRico off his chest. Throw in Tampa Bay. Francisco, who's on first?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you who's on first. See the highlights for 18 of the best comedy films ever made in the world of Abbott and Costello, Sunday morning at 11:30 on Channel 44. Baseball, this is soccer.
Right now, I wish
Who's
we
on
were
the penalty
first.
spot?
We're not on first right now. We're in third.
Long throw in. Barnett gets up high over the back of David Robb. David has a few words with Jeff Barnett. 5 minutes left. The Kicks have the ball.
Very few people leaving. I don't think that anybody believes that this game is over because
We don't.
chances have been plentiful for both teams, mostly for the Rowdies in the second half. We have played very, very well, but
The
they've had no
Rowdies
luck.
find it. Francisco. Smethurst. Oh, Rodney didn't run the way Derek was thought he was going to do. And there we see another play going astray for Tampa Bay.
A lot of good chances, and I think that they've played very well. They've dominated most of the second half. The Kicks really have had very little pressure on the Rowdies' defense in the second half. A couple of chances, but it's really been most of the Rowdies.
Goalkeeper Jeff Barnett was telling his team to move forward. Then he hits a horrible punt out of bounds. Rowdies ball. Throw in Egan to Bandoff. Nicely done. Bandoff. Marked by Alan West. Bandoff. Well, at least Boris gets a corner kick, one of the few we've had tonight. Nice touch by the new American to the Rowdies roster, formerly with the Seattle Sounders. As I said, a member of the national team of the United States. Wegerle now to take the corner. Up front for him is Smethurst and Marsh. Rodney comes in off his chest. Barnett goes up high, just 2 feet from the box, 2 feet from the goal line. Again, Minnesota ball.
And unfortunately, Barnett going up alone as Augie was coming in, but too late to make his charge count for anything.
3:41 now as the clock winds down. Jump steals. The Rowdies come back. They are indeed controlling it now. Marsh to Wegerle. Steve, we need a move from you. Lots of orange and blue back there, I'll tell you that. Chip shot inside. Free of everyone. Goal kick, Seattle, or rather Minnesota.
Just over 3 minutes to go. 3:15, and can't have too many more chances left. Maybe enough time for a couple of offensive thrusts, and no more than that.
And the Kicks will be very patient about getting any of the balls in play that they have left, just like this goal kick. Jeff Barnett, very methodical. As we see, he wanted to bring it to DeRico. David Robb for the Rowdies yelling upfield, appealing to the referee to stop the clock. Now Barnett puts it in play. Looking for Futcher. Connell goes up. Both of them ill-timed on their chance. Futcher chased down by Connell. Cross. Hammond goes high. Yes. And running into the goal, looking for the ball, was Adi Coker. Bit of a breakaway for Tampa. Wegerle by Merrick. Free. Picked up now by Peter Short. Wegerle. Lots of orange and blue. Chip shot. Looking for Augie. Up high. Can he lay it down for anybody? Augie still controlling. McLeod chips it back inside. Watch for the offside. Smethurst shot. No, Rob. Cleared away by Steve Lick. Another opportunity for the Rowdies. Open-faced in front of the goal now. Coker tries to keep it in touch. Egan comes to challenge. 2 minutes. Just 120 seconds left in this game. 1-0 Minnesota. The Rowdies presented with a gift opportunity to move up in the Eastern Division. Square ball to Coker. McLeod finds it, however. Connell. Netzwalenke tries to take it away from Mike, and here come the Rowdies. Nicely done by Connell. Rod, is this the opportunity? Here's Rodney. Bit of a free chance in the box by DeRico. Taken across the end line. Corner kick, Tampa. 1:44. Rodney hurriedly finds the ball. Tells all his players to move up. All the big guys in the box. Only Stewart jump at the halfway line for Tampa. Here's the ball. McLeod. Nice clearance by Peter Short. Alan West. Netzwalenke. The Rowdies hustle to get back. It's 4-on-4. Chasing it down is Vukovic. Hammond comes to find it. 1:19. Let's get a quick distribution back upfield. He does to Wes McLeod. Netzwalenke goes down. He's back up quickly, however. McLeod on his back. Back heels to Moran, DeRico. 60 seconds left in the game. The kicks could freeze it right here if they so desire. Long ball to Futcher. He's offside, of course. He clears it into the stands. The referee will stop the clock, and he might even give a caution to Ron Futcher. He does stop the clock.
Tom, regardless of what happens here, 48 seconds to go, obviously, maybe time for one more chance off field for the Rowdies, but the Rowdies have played a tremendous game. Unfortunate to lose if that is what happens, but a tremendous performance, and it'll make it that much tougher to catch up Fort Lauderdale and New York. But I think that Wednesday night against Portland, they've got to feel very, very confident because they played extremely well.
Again, we remind them that the midfield area is so important to any team. Missing team captain Lenny Glover and the spark plug Mark Lindsay. Throw in Tampa, 24 seconds. Let's be patient, Tampa Bay. Robb chips it back to Jump. Jump quickly to Wegerle. Wegerle has Robb on his side, parallel. Through ball looking for Rodney. Wegerle, Steve is free. There's 6 seconds. Trying to get off a shot. Chip shot inside. Cleared away. The referee says that's time. The final score here from the Minnesota Kicks 1. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, nothing. Francisco, some thoughts on the game.
What more can I say, Tom? The Rowdies played extremely well. Very disappointing loss, but nothing to be ashamed of.
Our last Rowdies telecast will be on Friday night, August 5th from St. Louis. Tune in at 8:30, August 5th, and see your Rowdies win the last game of the regular season, exclusively here on TV 44. Again, the final score, 1-0. We remind you, the Rowdies at home Wednesday night, and the Portland Timbers, the opponent. Be there and support your Tampa Bay Rowdies as they battle for the Eastern Division. For Francisco Marcos, I am Tom Keene. Good evening. Spavin controls to Garber, the ex-Rowdy. Spavin converged on by Fink, and here's a possible breakaway. Glover, lots of room in the middle. Square to Rodney Marsh. On the wing, the right wing is Smethurst, and here comes the ball to him. Derek with a cross inside, cleared away by McAllister. DeLeon. Egan coming up with good anticipation. Kevin Egan. Egan with the ball now, trying to cross it, still controls. Here's the ball. Smethurst up high. Cleared away by McAllister. It's going to be a corner, Tampa Bay.
That'll be a goal kick, apparently. Derek Smethurst getting his head to the ball at the last moment, going over the goal line for a goal kick, but a similar play to the one that led to the first goal by the Rowdies last week against Chicago, when Wegerle crossed on the right side, and Derek Smethurst was a little closer to the goal in front of the far post, but a same head shot opportunity.
Now, on an overlap like that, Frank, from Kevin Egan,